Cool. All right, so the muscle groups generally affecting the hip hinging are hip flexors, the whole front side of it, hip extensors, or glutes and hammies, adductors and abductors, so inside and outside of your thighs. And generally we want to work on these muscle groups to improve our hip hinging abilities. And the reason we want to actually improve our hip hinge is something we call positional strength. So we want strength and stability through optimal range of motion. So if I have a lot of strength through this hip hinge where I can get to 90 degrees, I'm going to be a very effective mover because I'm strong at this bottom position as well through the entire movement of the hip hinge.
Yeah, so going back to, hip hinge, for all the archetypes is a pass-fail. And that's kind of to be a good basic human mover, you need to be able to pass this archetype. Now for optimal range of motion, you might need more than the pass-fail test, but we're gonna go over the pass-fail test to start. So for the hip hinge, Josh, and you can do this with a partner, I'm gonna put my hand on his low back. Josh is gonna squeeze his glutes to set his pelvis to neutral, and then he's gonna unhinge his knees to make sure that the hamstring doesn't affect it, and then he's gonna send his butt back, and I'm feeling for no change of position. Good, 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 good. Right about there. So now if Josh were to go lower, instead of hinging from his hip, he would have to create another hinge joint, and he would have to hinge from his spine, which we don't want. Right? We just want one long lever. We don't want to break it up, segment it into multiple levers. So Josh is good. Let's say Josh had to do a deadlift, but he can only hinge down to 45 degrees. Okay, if he only can hinge down to 45 degrees, and he's got to get all the way down to the bar, he's going to be much more likely, that's good, he's going to be much more likely to round as he gets tired and not be in optimal positions and not be as good of a mover. So we want to make sure that Josh has, at bare minimum, 90 degrees of hip flexion. In our next video, we'll go over some stuff to show you how to work on that, to remove hip dysfunction, and to be better movers so that you can be better movers a year from now.